order. As always, we begin by pledging to our flag. We pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Some may say we should introduce ourselves, but you see our names up here. To save time, we'll just proceed. First item for approval is the minutes of our meeting in June. We'll order a copy for a couple of weeks and a chance to review them. I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes of our June meeting.
So moved.
I'll second.
Any discussion or any changes? Call for the vote.
Vote aye.
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 Next item on the agenda is the treasurer's report for June. You also had a copy of that. Yes, to review. I'll entertain a motion to approve the treasurer's report.
So moved.
I'll second it. Any discussion? All in favor?
I vote aye.
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 Next item, we're going to turn over to our manager, Todd Ziegler, for a historical document of some kind.
Yeah.
Field sign account. You want to explain that?
Yeah, we have a field sign account that was created in 2005, and what it was is different vendors paid a fee of $500. There was a sign, a banner that was manufactured, mounted on the fence at the ball fields at the park. We had one in 2005, we had 5 in 2006. Then in 2007, there was a $100 maintenance fee charged. It was an annual fee. That was collected in 2007 for all 6, and there's been no activity in that account since 2007. There's a balance of $2,339.49, and my request to the board is to authorize that account to be closed and transfer the funds into the recreation fund.
Yeah. Those signs were for this field out here, I believe.
For Haytown?
Yeah.
I believe so.
Are they still up? Are the signs still up?
Not these signs. Some of these businesses don't even exist
Okay.
any longer.
All right.
Like Logan's Pizza and Remax countywide.
Okay, thank you. All right, well then, you want us to eliminate this account and transfer the money
To the recreation fund.
to that? That makes sense. All right, any questions? I'll entertain a motion to that effect.
So moved.
I'll second it. Any discussion, any questions? All in favor?
I vote aye.
Aye. We're getting geared up for our 2016 budget. And we have it in our folder. We have a form that we can introduce items that we think are important. So you want to explain that to us?
Yeah, it's hard to believe. I know it's only July 1st and we're thinking about the 2016 budget already, but it is that time of year. What I do is I give the board and staff a budget request form. If there's items or projects that they can think of that we should consider replacing with equipment, road projects, they'll submit that to me and then I'll incorporate that into the budget. And the budget gets completed and is presented to the board for the first time in October 2nd.
Right.
So if there's anything you have, if I could have the forms back by August 17th.
Thank you. Any questions about that? Pretty straightforward, I believe. Now we're going to have opening public comments. I want to review a few housekeeping matters. We are video recording this meeting as we always do, and it'll be on our website within a reasonable period of time. In regard to that matter, and also it's just a matter of keeping record of who's speaking, please use the microphone when you do speak to the board or to the staff. Give us your full name and your address, please. And the public has the right to record meetings, but you must announce that at this time. All right. Thank you. So, we'll entertain anyone wants to come up and speak. Up to 5 minutes, so if you're real excited, we'll let you go longer. That's never happened yet.
Springfield Town Meeting last week with the proposal of commercial ball fields at the beginning of Glen Valley Road. And I just want to make the gentleman aware of that proposal. It was turned down, but I feel that we will come back to another one with it. And myself and my neighbors were concerned about the traffic coming off them ball fields. And we're going to have enough playing fields for 400 cars. That's what they propose, to have enough cars to park in that lot. Where the cars from the trailer park, where the snowball stand is. That's it.
Right across from the trailer park. It's located on the, where's the?
Glen Valley and the old trail.
Yeah, right.
Basically between store connectors and,
The old right, the old right.
somewhere in there from what I had heard.
Right, that land right part of
Is it dairy farm? Is there a dairy farm there?
No, it's, I think Earl Palmer farms it.
Farms it.
Yeah, farms it, yes. But anyway, the gentleman who owns the property, he wanted to put commercial ball fields, 6 ball fields, soccer field, and I think a lacrosse field.
Is this a business? Does it expect to make money with these fields? Or
Well, sure, he sells permits.
permits?
Yes.
Permits to teams?
Yes.
Yeah, I had heard about this, but I thought it was Springfield
It
Township
is.
putting in a recreation park, not a business. I didn't hear that.
This gentleman lives in Springfield Township, and the project would be in Springfield Township. But
Yeah, I know.
Yes.
I'm trying to be honest.
And the neighbors were concerned about that, and of course, and across the old trail there, you got the other complex that's supposed to be going up. Some,
What's going on?
or the warehouse.
The warehouse is what I heard.
Yeah,
I don't
the
know for
warehouse.
sure.
So you would have that on one side, and you would have this on the other, and I just want to make our township aware of what's going on, and the added traffic on Glen Valley Road. As soon as they find out, you know, the shortcuts or all the ways out of there, you would create a lot of traffic.
How does he expect to make? Did he do a market analysis? How does he supposed to make? He feels he can make money doing this? When we have all these athletic fields already,
Well, you sells permits.
I know, but you have to.
This is for, they will hold competitions. It'll be like
Oh.
volleyball tournament, or
Tournaments, yeah.
soccer tournament. It's bringing people in from outside of the area. It's not people, you won't have people from this community using this. It's going to be outside.
And that's their team that's in the tournament.
Yes.
I understand what you're saying.
Okay.
So you live in Springfield Township, right?
Yes, sir.
You live in Shrewsbury, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure.
My projects is, I understand.
No,
I'm quite
346
sure.
Glen Valley Road.
Well, I encourage this gentleman to speak, get on the record
Yes.
with his position, so you'll be.
Well, not just mine, my neighbor.
No, I understand. A lot of people are concerned about it.
Opposed to it.
The fact that Springfield Township has turned down the special exception certainly is encouraging.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Anybody else good? Yes.
My name is Gary Coggins. I'm here to represent Forest Lakes Water Association. I'm sure you all are familiar with the plight we had with the DEP and having to upgrade our spillways in our community. That job is pretty much complete. You folks came in and helped us with the paving, which was finished yesterday. We only have a walkthrough from the DEP to be, all finished with this entire project. And I just want to extend my deep gratitude to this board and these members for providing the assistance that you did in helping us get these roads paved. Like I say, your folks are very professional. They came in, they did the job, and we're finished now. So I want to say one more time, thank you very much. It took 6 years to make this happen, but we're finally finished. So thank you very much.
Thank you, and it was very good working with you as well. Once upon a time, your development was a private development.
Pardon me?
So once upon a time, Forest Lake was a private development. And you should thank God and everybody else that it was transferred to a public development, and the township has some authority to come in and help you with the project. Okay. I had to get that in. Dave, you want to say anything?
Just add one thing to it, the former supervisors too that were on the board when they approved this, helping us. I'd like to thank them.
Thank you, brother. Anybody else have anything to say to the board? Any comment, public comment? If not, we'll move on. Under ordinances and resolutions, Joe, do you want to introduce this agreement between Glen Rock Borough and our township?
Yeah, we were approached by Glen Rock Borough to enter into an intermunicipal agreement in order for the township and the borough to share services. And it's something that we've been doing for a long time. There was just never a formal agreement in place. And really the only reason the agreement came about now is because we are bidding some asphalt for some road projects and we'll be helping them with some paving in Glen Rock Borough. And in order to use the liquid fuels, the PennDOT funds, they're requiring an intermunicipal agreement between the township and the borough. Otherwise, we would have continued to work as good neighbors. So that's the reason for the formal agreement. The attorney that represents Glen Rock Borough is also with the same firm as our solicitor, CGA law firm. So those two worked out the details, so the solicitor is aware of this. The agreement and the advertising costs and everything have been paid for by Glen Rock Borough. So there's no cost to us.
You had a copy, you have a copy in your packet. I tell you about this very good agreement. You can actually understand what it says. And it seems like it covers everything with the issue, including the dissolution at some point in time if necessary. So, any questions? Then I'll call for a motion to approve the agreement.
I make motion, we approve ordinance 2015-05.
I'll second it.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
So we're approving the agreement so we can sign the agreement.
You're approving the ordinance so that you can sign the agreement.
And then after we sign it, Glen Rock will sign it. Then
They've already approved it at their meeting,
so they'll sign it. They'll sign it.
Work and get done.
Subdivision and land development. East Squared. Todd, do you want to?
Yeah, this is a
where that's located and what the history is.
yeah, this is a proposed housing development for 16 homes adjacent to Glen Rock Borough. This has been on the books since about I think it was around 2008. And they're ready to go with their plan. The only thing that they need to do is to purchase some development rights. And they're asking the board to extend action on this plan for an additional 6 months until January of 16 to allow them some time to purchase those development rights and also in hopes that the housing market improves a little bit between now and then. So that's their request.
I think that improving the housing market is driving all of this.
I don't so too.
Phil would agree. At any rate, this is located adjacent to Glen Rock Borough. It's on a very hilly piece of land. Fortunately, they're only developing the ridge line via cul-de-sac. And there's what, 9 or 10?
16.
Oh, 16. Wow. It's quite a few. I didn't mention that many. All right, well, anyway, we're to approve an extension if we deem it appropriate. I'll make a motion that we extend the time.
I'll second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
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 Keith, go friend two. Todd?
Yeah, you have before you a request for a deed to transfer the development right from Kurzmiller property, which many probably know as Superior Nurseries. I did verify they have one development right remaining, and the request is for it to be transferred to Dahlheim Investors, which is the proposed 3-lot subdivision on Calhoun Road, which is part of Heathcote Glen 2, and would be phase 4.
So they did have to verify that they have this one right. And there's still one right with the property?
Correct. It was verified back in 2008, and I researched to make sure that nothing was sold or transferred.
So the old just doesn't transfer that deed that was approved some time ago?
Correct.
Is there a motion to approve the transfer?
So moved.
I'll second.
We have a motion and second. Any further discussion? Call for the vote.
Aye.
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 Next item on our agenda is reports. We want to start with our manager, Todd Ziegler.
Well, I have 12, 15 items on there. We don't need to go through these.
No, just what you think.
But I don't have anything to add other than what's in the report this month.
I appreciate you putting in an update on parking. You're going to include that every month.
Yeah.
It's very helpful. Thank you. It's good. Do we need to give a motion to approve the report? I don't think we do. We don't have to do that. Next report is sanitary sewer. That's the sites and sanitary sewer project. Todd?
Yeah, where we're at right now, as you know, we wrapped up construction with phase 3, which is 16 parcels. Work has been completed. In fact, this evening I'll give to you the cost analysis and so forth, and what the estimated cost, not the estimated, what the estimated quarterly charges and everything will be. And we will be having a meeting next Wednesday, July 8th, and it is a public meeting. The main purpose is to meet with the property owners of sites on phase 3 to go over what the project costs were, what the quarterly charges will be, and so forth. And then other than that, I don't have anything out of the ordinary than what's on the report.
All right. Any questions for Todd? All right. Well, Attorney Buck has submitted a report, a monthly report. Any questions? Or you want to go over anything with this?
Mr. Chairman, you'll see my report's very short, and I really have nothing to add to it.
We welcome and certainly approve short reports. Anything from Attorney? Listen, seeing none, we'll move on. Zoning officer, we have a lengthy report of our zoning officer, our code enforcement officer, and sewer enforcement officer, all one person. Any questions regarding his report? Todd, do you want to bring up anything that you think we should be aware of? Okay. Moving along. You have a maintenance report. It's not very controversial, and very short, of course, and to the point. We have a report from our engineer and the planning commission. Any comments on those reports? Okay. We'll move on to supervisor comments. Bill, do you have anything?
Nothing at this time.
Jeff, do you have anything? I'm going to give you this magazine called American Agriculturist. And it's kind of unusual for an agricultural publication to promote environmental matters. Sometimes they're very defensive about that. Sometimes they're even right about it too. But in this document, there's an article called under crops called "Clean Up Streams with Tree Cover." I just want to make note of the fact that I'm going to read 2 short paragraphs. Bear with me. Research by the Stroud Water Research Center in Abbeville, Pennsylvania, confirms that a wooded buffer bordering the stream can protect water quality, plus maintain the stream's natural structure and habitat. Now the not so good news. Next paragraph. Those stream-side forest buffers should be at least 100 feet wide on each side to adequately protect freshwater ecosystems from human activities. That's a lot. We know it's a lot, but this is what the science is saying, and the award for a wide forest buffer is huge. So we have a stream buffer in this township. It applies to basically new development. and it's 100 feet, and it's got to be planted in trees if it's not already in trees. And there's also a section in that same article that says if cattle or livestock are damaging the stream banks or whatever, then the buffer could be extended, and or if there's accelerated erosion along that section of the stream, this buffer also could be extended. And I want you to just, I'll give it to Linda to put it in the file under RC, under this zoning classification. It could be an issue later on. All right, let's move on. Anybody else have anything else to say? Okay. Under old business, park improvements.
Yeah, I just want to update the board and the public that was here last month. We put out for bid 3 park projects. We did them together, which was for Windy Hill, Winchester Park, and Haintown Park. Our budget was $300,000, and that budget was prepared by a landscape architect who works with a lot of these projects. We only received 1 bid, and that bid was $503,000, so we obviously rejected that bid. The grant money that we received for Windy Hill and Winchester Parks is state funding. It's 50% of it, which is $120,000. That money is available to us through December of 2017, so we weren't too concerned about those funds that we would lose those if we bid it out later this year or early next year. The question that arose last month was we received $30,000 grant from the county commissioners under the Act 13, the Marcellus Shale funding. That money was awarded to us in December of 13. We didn't use it in 14. We hope to use it this year, and now we're not going to. So I did contact the county commissioners, and they did agree that they will carry that $30,000 funding into 2016. So we can keep it all as one project and bid it. Talking to landscape architect, we're probably looking at very early February. So we get it back in March and hopefully get into the more competitive season before we have the calendars for it.
What's the prospect of getting a realistic bid, unlike this past?
Well,
unlike this year, rather.
One thing, we probably went out a little late in the season. I know Ann told me that with some of the other projects she had, that they were getting fewer and fewer bidders because their calendars were full. They weren't hungry for the work. And the bid that we did receive, when the bid was brought in that morning, just the statement was made that I kind of forgot about this and threw it together quickly. So I think that's what happened there. Not that they weren't necessarily interested, but time got away from them and they thought, I guess they'll went in. So we're optimistic that if we bid something January or February that we'll have more bids and it'll be more competitive.
And this work was going to upgrade our playgrounds and do some landscaping.
Yeah, some ball fields, some playground equipment, and landscaping, and so forth.
Yes. Any questions? All right. Under new business. Request to purchase 15 EDUs. Those are sewage rights, 250 gallons of sewage, to accommodate a lot over in Stonebridge. And the development's called Bob Associates.
It's called Stonebridge Business Park.
The development's called, I know the...
Well, the entity is Bob Associates.
Yes, okay. Your name is?
My name is Ryan Warner.
You want to come on up?
Sure.
This came in at the very last moment when we
Sure.
been looking at it. And,
I'm sorry, was it Ryan?
It's Ryan, R-Y-N, and my last name is Warner, W-O-E-R-N-E-R, and I'm with Stewart Properties. Which,
what's your responsibility with that?
I'm the manager of operations for the real estate division.
We just got this within the last week, basically. And, there's nothing illegal about selling EDUs that will not be utilized in our township. That they go to the same central sewer, but they will not be right. It's not an issue at all, I assume.
Selling in the allocation of these EDUs is a discretionary matter of the board.
Todd, could you summarize the history of the EDUs, how many we have, and just some of the bids we got. So let's give a quick overview so everybody here.
Yeah, currently, I say we have 45, but we sold 2 earlier this year in February. So we had 45, we sold 2 in February. Part of the land exchange in Midsummer Manor development that will be coming through, the board agreed back last year in 2014 to reserve 5 for that housing development. So we're down to 38, I guess, and if we were to sell the 15, that would leave us with 23 remaining. I believe we've only sold, I don't know the exact number, but since 2006, 2007, I don't think we sold more than 2 or 3 EDUs.
And we had several auctions.
Yeah, there were some auctions held. I believe it was 2 auctions, and I'm just going off of memory of what I read, but I believe we had 2 auctions in 2006 and 1 auction in 2007, and the lowest bid that was requested was $5,000, and there were no bidders at that time. Then we put it out for bid last year before we sold those 2, and we actually bid it 2 times. And we did not receive any bids. And then the developer came in and asked for 2, and the board negotiated that price. So we bid several times over the last several years and did not receive any bids. Talking to our sewage enforcement officer, if the board moves forward and sells these 15, that would leave us with 23. He would recommend that we keep in reserve 15 of those, not necessarily for what we would call emergencies. I call an emergency is if someone has an on-lot system that's near the public sewer, it would need to tie in. But he thinks we should keep a couple extra. So if we have a business that moves in and say they would expand their business or they would need a few extra EDUs for a restaurant or something. So that would leave us with 7 just for general.
Does he feel that with existing homes on septic systems that are within reasonable distance of the sewer line, does he feel that there's not an area that may have? Okay.
Yeah, no, he's not concerned with that. He said from his position as a sewage enforcement officer and the need for those EDUs, he doesn't see that there's any issue with selling.
That's important to be pragmatic. We don't want to
From his point of view, so.
The other thing,
Yeah,
is we have commercial and industrial zone land, which is often where your development, where your commercial development is located, and there's not much activity there either. I know initially a letter went around to all the owners of those properties asking them if they want to buy sewage rights for EDUs, and I think some did and a lot didn't. And the Kinsley development on Elm Drive, they transferred rights from Hopewell Township, as I understand it, over to their site.
that I don't have any.
Yeah, that was and my concern then, based on what we've said so far, is that if we have somebody in Shrewsbury Township and want to develop a commercial or industrial property and we don't have any EDUs, is that an issue at all?
Well, the only thing they could do is, I know New Freedom Borough is going to be working on re-rating their plant, and they believe that after they conducted their I&I work, that they would have additional capacity available. And I know we have some new board members, but I know when I first came here to the township, there was discussion that eventually when these EDUs are all gone, that they would like that any future developer actually works directly with the sewer authority that owns and operates the plant. I don't know if that's still a desire of the board at some point, but
One other thing too. Well, I talked to the New Freedom Borough Council, and just a passing conversation with a couple of them, and they aren't sure there's going to be any available. They're saying that whatever capacity they kind of regain, they might just hold that as a reserve if they still have more I&I infiltration and so forth. So it's not clear whether,
Yeah,
it's very unclear whether we're gonna get rights from them. So, okay, your first name again is?
My first name is Ryan.
Sorry.
That's all right.
What kind of business?
We have a national medical firm that's looking to move up there, 71 Far Hills Drive.
A national what firm?
Medical,
Medical firm.
yes.
And what kind of work do they do?
I can't release that right now at this point.
Oh, yeah.
It's a national medical firm, so I can.
You might be jeopardizing this whole affair.
I'm sorry.
So, you won't be sorry. How many employees do you expect to have?
We're expecting to have probably anywhere from 18 to 20 employees.
What kind of salaries they get?
Salaries?
Yeah.
They'll be paid well.
Pardon?
They will be paid well. So it's going to be anywhere probably, I'd say their salaries are going to run anywhere from 60,000 probably all the way up to.
We don't want a sweatshop. Being promoted by our sewage rights.
I understand.
It's a very basic question.
I understand.
Do you have any question?
And so you can't tell us any more about what kind of, is this going to be a clinic of some sort?
It will be a clinic. I can tell you that.
I didn't know if it was a sales operation.
It will not be. It'll be a medical clinic is
Okay.
what it will be. It'll be a high demand clinic.
Okay.
How many
For that
more?
location. We would like to purchase 10, our preference would be 15. 10 would get that client there. 15 is really what we would like to have a little bit of a cushion for that.
Your price is low, but. Another question. How many parcels of lots do you have that aren't developed?
We have one lot, well actually, I'm sorry, we have 2 lots left in that park. We have one behind 888, which is Pringle Drive, 888 Far Hills Drive, and we have one on the corner of Renaissance Lane and Wolf Road, which that's a retail center.
Okay. So you might need, and do you have EDUs for those 2 parcels?
Right now, we do not.
And of course, it depends on the client, how many you're going to need.
That's correct. And that was the reason we're looking for the cushion of 15, is we're looking at the future also, if there's 2 corner, one corner lot, and one behind Pringle Drive.
Thank you for being honest about that. I mean, the other thing is, you may be aware of this, I hope you are, Ryan, that in front of your property is a stream valley, a riparian area, it's the headwaters of Gary Creek.
Yes.
And Gary Stewart has gracefully indicated he will support the reasons and effort to make that a little more attractive.
That's
more
correct.
environmentally sensitive and so forth. And because I was tempted to make that part of the consideration, but there's plenty. Our alternatives there, obviously it's not practical.
Right.
But we were hoping that you will extend yourself and trying to make that as attractive. There's bank erosion there.
Mm-hmm.
That there's issues that we need to do, maybe put a trail system in there, or reason we need to plant more trees and upgrade that whole area. Increase the value of the holdings that you have on your property. Are you enthusiastic about that?
I actually am. And the reason I say that is we just met down there. I would say it was 2 days ago we went down there. We were meeting with the traffic group also for the intersection of Wolf Road and 851. And we were looking at, I know there's a trail system not only you guys, but Hopewell Township's looking for also, to go through that corner piece there. So we are looking to make that more attractive.
How about removing the legacy sediments? Legacy sediments are the soil that's come in there over centuries, or mill dams that are backed up silt, and removing that so the stream itself is not inside in a deep bank.
Okay.
Well, that's not close to the top of the surface. So anyway, there's all kinds of opportunities there. I won't.
Sure.
But you're going to work with the township, both townships in that regard.
We are, but we have to understand there, with the way that culvert is that goes over Wolf Road, we're governed by the Army Corps of Engineers in that project too.
Obviously, within limitations, I mean.
Understood.
My two co-workers are getting in the face with me. So, you have anything else to say? Okay. So it's 10 or 15?
Yeah, 10 would make the project the medical user go. 15 would give us, what we're going.
You can always come back to us. We're not going to be, sold out here for a period of time.
We're asking the board to consider it.
Well, what's the sense of the board?
would allow them to pursue their plan.
Was it 10 or 12?
No, we were looking for 10,
Yeah.
ultimately for the 781 Far Hills Drive project, which is Stonebridge Flats. And then an additional 5 as we were looking for the cushion, because we would like to develop that corner of Renaissance Road and also Wolf Road, which we also have some plans for retail center. And the retail center that we built is almost a duplicate of where the Gold's Gym and the Bill Davies is. So we're looking for that sort of center to go down in that corner there across from the tractor.
You don't know exactly how many you need until you have a plan.
We definitely need 10 right.
I know, but with the other parcels.
That's correct.
Okay. I'm going to make a motion that we approve.
I think we ought to look at keeping it a little closer to the number that they need, keep it scaled to 12. They could come back to us for the other 3.
That'd be great.
Well, he said they need 10. No. So it would be 5. But let's get the numbers straight here.
Okay.
You want to do it specifically at 10?
Just for this one.
I was just trying to give them a little leeway on that.
Yeah, and I would appreciate it if we could get the leeway with Bill, because that user, right now, I can't say it's speculation, but they gave us a usage report of what they typically use, and to have that little bit of a cushion would be nice if we could get 12 down.
Okay, so you could get 12, and then you may have a few left over that you can apply to the other 2 parcels.
That's correct.
And you're still coming back to us. I mean, one thing, I don't want to see a street plan on Deer Creek.
Understood.
Okay. And you probably don't want to go through that expense either. So that's why it's important we do this right.
Right.
All right. So,
Gentlemen,
so Bill, what?
you know, it's not often that I speak up, but before you make this
Please.
decision, there are some issues that I would like to speak with you about in an executive session. There are potential litigation issues that I would like to discuss with you very briefly. We can do that now if you would like. We'll take about 5 or 10 minutes.
5 minutes?
Sure.
You don't want to? Okay. You have to excuse us for 5 minutes?
5 minutes.
5 minutes.
Can we ask questions?
Yes.
I mean, from the public or not?
No.
Well, you haven't told us how much you're selling them for.
Okay.
And have you ever met with Hopewell? Have you talked to them to see that they've approved what he's proposing?
That's one of my questions is, as Hopewell Township, the township usually tells you how many you need, or they approve whatever you want.
Sure.
So, let's go ahead. Do you,
Sure.
what's the basis for the 10 that you need for this medical? So
You're saying the gallons per day? Is that what you're asking me for?
EDUs.
Well, we're asking for 10 EDUs, which we're looking for the buffer of 12. And you're at, what is your EDU is worth 250 gallons a day? 350.
So your request is based on actual,
My request is based on the data that we received from the National Medical
has
Users.
Hopewell Township concurred with that data?
We did talk to Hopewell Township about this, correct?
What did they say?
They just said that we're going to have to, that the sewer capacity is out of their hands and we need to meet with the supervisors, to meet with Shrewsbury Township.
And if I can add, I did contact one of the board members of Hopewell Township to confirm that they did not have any EDUs available, and it was confirmed that they did not have any.
Because they won't approve your plan, your development rather, until they establish you have enough EDUs. So
That's right.
we don't want to approve something here, and then they come back and say, well, Hopewell Township says we need more. So thank you, Ralph, for that question.
And to answer his other question, is $8,000 is what they've offered to pay per EDU.
But what do we get out of the deal? Shrewsbury Township, not trying to be greedy. You're going to give all the taxes to Hopewell, correct? So we're not going to get any real estate taxation or anything out of it. And I think the board should meet with the Hopewell board, just so that you got if they want to push it and Hopewell wants to approve it, that you can get the point made that okay, we'll give to you. Now, what are you giving to us? It's not a one-way street. We got the EDUs. Why are we helping Hopewell develop? Why aren't we saving them for our own township and our own development and our own builders? I mean, I don't see the advantage, right? Come on, Gene, stand up, give them hell. I mean, it's just not. It doesn't make sense. And again, it's something that showed up 10 days ago, and you're going to vote on it tonight. And there's all kinds of questions being asked. but you'll just rush it right through the board and approve it, and there's.
I just asked.
Can I interject here a second? Can you please come up to the microphone for
Be
the
glad
the recording? Thank you. And state your name and
Before we go to executive session, let's get all this on. We've been trying to sell. We have about.
My name is Al Burrows. I live at 15708 Magnolia Drive in Freedom, PA. And my concern in Bill and Jeff is that you need to meet with Hopewell Township. And you need to talk to those people. We're doing things in 18th century rules, and this is the 21st century. That exit one is a mess. You've got our township, you've got the borough, and you've got Hopewell Township. And it's time we sit down and tell them that we want to control growth and a planned growth so that it benefits not only our township, but their township. And they're not here. There's a representative here from Hopewell.
But our manager has
I've been in contact with Hopewell.
Yeah, but where's their representatives?
I guess they didn't feel they had a need to have
Well,
someone.
that's my argument. What do we get from them, Bill? I mean, where can we talk to them about anything?
Hopewell Township indicated how many EDUs, how many sewage rights, how many gallons that they need. And
I understand all that, Paul. And it's not the EDUs.
That's not an issue. It's already been, but we know that information. The question is, do we want to sell them?
Why would you keep them for our township?
Well, we've had...
There are townships, there's been battles in here for the last 10 years, hasn't there? You haven't been here this long.
Yeah.
About what's an EDU worth, and how many are there, and why do we have them, and why is it... I mean, all these issues, and now you're sitting here saying you're going to give a third of them away to some township that just showed up to the dance?
Give a third of them away, okay? The taxpayers' money has been tied up in these EDUs for how many years now?
20 years.
20 years. We got money sitting in these EDUs for 20 years. I think it's time that we consider liquidating a portion of them and getting it back into...
Well, I think that it's time that you have a conversation about what an EDU costs in this township, and if Hopewell wants to come, I think they should pay a premium for the EDU. I don't think you should give it to them at the same price you'd sell it to you, a resident of the township. If this has been 21 years, that's 21 years you pay taxes to hold on to these EDUs. Now let's make a little more if another township's coming to us, and finally quit your dancing and come up with pricing that a township resident will pay and what an out-of-township resident.
I'm not dancing now.
No, I know, Bill, but that's the dance that's been danced here for 10 years.
We've had auctions, we've sent letters out to the owners of the property, asked them to want
Sure, last year you approved one to sell for $1,800, the guy didn't show up the next month and buy it. Every time it's a moving target. I'm saying you got to fix the target. You're always playing with a moving target.
Well, if I can add, since that time with the $1,800, the township paid 21 years ago a little over $1,600 per EDU. After that $1,800 sale, which never went through, the board directed the solicitor and I to take a look at that. I believe we used the 10-year T-bill, and we projected that cost out, and the value now is $5,953.
Okay.
We sold two to a township property owner in February, and they paid $5,953 for each one.
Okay.
So that's what it's costing a township resident. They're offering to pay $8,000.
That's my point.
What is your point? Why not 12,000?
Pardon me?
Why not 12,000? Can we do that, Mr. Solicitor?
I can't afford to buy 12,000, that's why.
Well, you can't afford to tell us who's coming. I mean, I don't know who's coming. You can't even tell us who's coming. It's just a medical, okay. But you can't disclose who's coming. How do we know what they can afford or not?
I asked a lot of questions in that regard, Al. Give us a little bit of credit. In other words,
well,
they're going to pay in very good ways. There's going to be a limited number of employees, so it's not like a big factory coming in with a lot of traffic and a lot of other effects.
Well, that's why I think you should talk to Hopewell. You haven't spoken other than he's talked to one Hopewell commissioner. If they got a board, why doesn't your board and their board meet and talk about it? Then you can zing them, Bill, with some other issues about the exit and what else do they want to cooperate with us on.
What about the exit? That's a given. The exit's going to be improved, but there aren't going to be that many more, not more traffic based on the number of employees with this facility.
I was going to say, regarding the exit, we've had meetings with Hopewell Township, Shrewsbury Borough, PennDOT, York County Planning Commission. We've had cooperative meetings.
on that matter. It's not like we have it.
One of his concerns is, as part of the motion, we can also include that the number that is being purchased.
Well, I think you should just table it and give it a 30-day resting period to get input from your own township developers and your own township
Speaking
people.
of developers, Phil Robinson.
Phil, come talk, Phil.
You're not gonna like it.
Well, go ahead.
Hey, Al, we appreciate your enthusiasm.
Well, Phil Robinson, Lake, 147 Main Lane, and I don't think there's anything wrong with doing this. I think the best thing the township can do is get out of the sewer business. I've been saying that for years. And just to set the record straight, the township taxpayers never paid for those EDUs. If you really do the math and find out what happened over those 20 years, we can debate that all day long. But the people that preserved EDUs paid premium when they bought them, and that premium paid the debt service on the 20-year note.
Phil,
Let me finish. And, you know, you've got 40-some EDUs. Everybody's concerned about what's going to happen in the township. 40 EDUs isn't going to do squat in this whole area. It isn't going to do anything. You know, if they got a project that's live and they can use 10 or 12 and it works and they go in business and they do a building, I don't see any problem with that. For anything to happen in the township, it's going to take a lot more than 10 or 12 or 15. The problem needs to be solved. Nobody's going to build a sewer plant on Deer Creek. It's impossible. You could never do it. It's cold water fishery. You'd never get it permitted. And the other thing that stops you from getting it permitted is the Chapter 94 report. New Freedom Borough's plant for 5 years has been operating at 50% capacity. You could double everything in Shrewsbury and the plant would run out of capacity. I've got the report that was done 2 months ago, the latest Chapter 94 report. And it's never been a capacity problem, it's a political problem. 100% political problem. The plant in the worst, most severe times, 3 months, the way the report works, it's the 3 worst consecutive months of the year. What's it running at? And it's running at 50% capacity. So the problem is a political problem, there's tons of capacity, there's a way to resolve it, the municipality's going to get together and work together, and that's not going to happen for his 10 units that he needs. You know, that's my bigger deal, and that's something I'm working on for other things that we're involved in. But the township should have never gotten involved in the business. They should have never gotten involved in the sewers. It should have always been Shrewsbury Borough Sewer Authority and New Freedom Borough Sewer Authority. And Hopewell Township has nothing to do with it because they're not involved in the sewer plant. New Freedom Borough owns the sewer plant. And that's what the capacity comes from.
The question has been answered. They agree that they're going to need that many, and they won't approve the development plan until that is shown to them, some certificate that you have that many rights. So it's not the issue. And I think, Al, with all due respect, we asked a lot of questions. We just didn't rubber stamp this. I mean,
Well, you just said it came in 10 days ago.
I know, but you heard all the questions that were asked up here, and I think we covered all. Are there any other questions we didn't ask we should have asked? I mean,
I just heard about it 10 minutes ago. I mean, you know, give me some time to talk to people, but you go right ahead. You're the,
well,
you know, he can't afford 12,000. I understand they can't give us any extras, so. I just don't think it's right to the developers and the people in our township that need them.
Ed Wall.
It seems to be, for the past several years, you've been concerned how to get rid of these things.
How to sell them.
So there's a chance to get rid of some of them.
We don't like to say get rid
You've
of them.
been trying to sell them at auction and whatever. Get rid of them.
Get out of the business.
Yeah.
You shouldn't be in it.
I agree. We should be out of the sewer business.
Sell them at the 15 that he wants.
I don't think 8,000 is enough, but we'll go with it.
I think you're.
But again, we want you to, I'm not holding this up in any legal way, but we're looking for the work to do on that repairing area and making that more attractive to the public. All right, any other questions? So we'll go to our executive session and cover every issue that's been raised. Thanks, Al. Thank you.
The recorder will continue, so you can talk, but you may want to be careful what you talk about.
5 minutes.
We're the next building on the right. So we have a I have to sign a paper that says that I cannot release this. Now, I can talk a lot about it, but I can't tell them. Unfortunately, I know that information, but it'll be a good user for the community. Well, the next one, and tractors and we would like to do a real nice job. I'd like the goals to no babies. Can you go to the park watch? Just over to the
I can't pay. If I could, it's between me tomorrow and resources come in. This is going, this week, I'm sure that's where
it would make it fun.
let me know. I'll send you a weekend here, start playing your more.
And so
I've been working for BOS Township since 1980. I know the program. All right.
new fire, where you guys gonna build that? You know, I was wondering if you guys are, they're supposed to be here. Their service
That's the first subject draw from which you get in the packet.
It's 350 per day. It's 350 in this township. Most townships it's 250, but in this township it's 350 gallons a day.
Partly. Haven't done it.
You're sure that's what it is?
That's the first concept. Put the Louisville Northern substation on the
What's that? No, we actually sold that piece of ground there to Johnson Controls. So we don't own any of that anymore. They're doing their own Kinsley Construction, so it's like a contractor there. Kinsley Construction.
Want you to buy that whole farm?
We did originally, yeah. We're the Home Depot, everything was. The only parcel we didn't own is where the Tractor Supply and Field Fireworks was. That's owned by a company called Chuton. And they made it their that what they had that ownership background, probably the same 2 years prior to us buying
Move on, yeah.
We just came from a executive session where our lawyer gave us some legal advice on this issue.
Okay.
We're ready for a motion, and we're making a motion regarding what they're asking for. And if you have any qualifying language in there, we're not going to throw in the stream right now.
Would your offer stand at 8,000 if we were to discuss 10 EDUs?
As in clarify that, what you're asking.
Well, you'd asked for 15 of them.
I did, that's correct.
Okay. Trying to accommodate your plan, and I think it's to the township's benefit to reduce our EDUs. You know, we were caught a little surprised with sending them to a different municipality.
Okay.
Would 10 EDUs suffice for you, as you mentioned?
From the rates that we're seeing for the user that's supposedly coming to us, if we can secure these EDUs, I would say 10 is
Okay.
that'd be fine.
All right. And that would be $80,000.
Yes. Yes, 80,000. So the township is not interested in doing any more than 10 EDUs, is that what you're saying to me?
Not at this time, but, you know, you want a little bit of a cushion, but I'm not going to give you a cushion at this time until the need is shown.
Okay. Understood.
You guys are pretty strong here, guys. I'm not making a motion. But
I'd like to make a motion that we approve the sale of 10 EDUs on this project.
Okay, we added part of that. All right, well, we can keep that simple. Attorney Bob, do you recommend a more extended motion?
The only thing you're lacking is a price.
Okay. All right, so the motion is that we sell to
At the price prescribed at $8,000 each.
for a second.
I'll second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
I vote aye.
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 That's fine.
Thank you, Mark.
We have another comment period at the end of the meeting, so anybody that is distraught with our decision, and you don't scream at us at that time. I want to say one thing. We did, even though we didn't have about a week, we did look into this pretty, in some detail, involving our student enforcement officer and a lot of other people. So I feel pretty comfortable with that. Clyde, we'll move on here.
Yeah, if you're ready.
I'm absolutely volunteer.
The next request we have is, and I brought up the parcel here, is for 1786 Spruce Road. It's this parcel right here. And Mr. Holloway is here if you have any questions of him. But the existing home sits back here. And Kurt, is your new home going to be in the front here or over?
Yeah, it's going to be over more, yeah.
Okay. And how many acres is that again?
7.19.
Okay. So it's a little over 7 acres. The existing home is here, and I know it's a really small home, and you're a family of what, 5? So they're building a new home here, and normally our ordinance, our zoning ordinance requires that you can only have one residential dwelling on the lot. What he's requesting is approval from the board to remain living in the home until their new home is completed.
And then within 90 days from when we issue a use and occupancy permit for the new home, that he would tear out the kitchen and the bathroom in this small building. And I don't know if everyone's familiar with it. It is a very small home. And he wants to keep that as like a storage garage area. So what he's requesting is that the board grant him approval to live in the house while the home is being constructed, and then within 90 days from when we issue a UNO that they can occupy the new home, that they will tear out the kitchen and the bath and convert that into a non-living space.
Has the site for the new home been approved?
Keith has the plans.
The only thing we're waiting on is to get the seepage pit plan back, but everything else.
It's out in the middle of the field, isn't it? Isn't that a farm field there?
What's that?
Is that a farm field where you want to put your house?
It's hay.
Well, whatever. But does that meet the requirements of our zoning ordinance?
I haven't seen a plot plan, so I'm not sure what
Keith said it did, yes. I asked that.
How many acres in that field? 5 or 6?
The field, the whole property is 7.19.
Well, you need to talk to Keith about that. Tell him the board that. You have any questions about that, Sam?
Well, I guess being it was done on another farm, it could be done here. You allowed it on another place, I guess.
I'm sorry, I asked.
I'm just filling you out.
What you say is misleading, to say the least. I'll make a motion that we approve the tearing down. We approve the retention of the existing building until a later date. However, all that is subject to the board approving the location of the new home. Yes, sir.
When would the board be approving? My name's Kurt Howell.
Time is always important.
Yeah, we're already to the process of like the builder ready to go in like 3 weeks. I mean, it's been perked. I got the septic design done. Secret pitch.
So there's no subdivision approval, it's just a development.
That's correct.
Permit space.
Yeah, not subdivided, nothing.
What do you think will?
Well, the thing is
That's a zoning officer decision, not a board.
That's what it is. Right? That's what the language says. It's just a matter of permits. I understand that.
So right now, the house would go up towards, closer to railroad, and right now the rest of the field is right now being in hay.
Is it going to be more up in this corner here? Or?
Yes. Footage wise, I don't know the exact. I know it's about 100 foot off the road. 90 feet from the center line.
It's up closer to this property line?
Yes, up closer to that property line.
So you still be able to farm that field?
Yes. Right now I got a guy who's baling hay on it right now. Just to keep you going.
All right, well, you're right. It's strictly a permitting thing. Well, let's have a motion then.
Well, you had a motion.
I did have a motion.
Yours?
That's what I'm mind on. I think this is an excellent motion. I'm still thinking about the location a lot, but my motion is complete. Is there a second?
And your motion is as requested?
Yes, that they can retain the existing house until such time as the new house is built, and they have to take out the kitchen and the bathroom, and it can be used as an auxiliary building, but not as their home or residence. So that's all part of my motion. A motion on the table.
I'll second it.
Any discussion? Any more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
By the way, Jeff, you're alluding to 143 acre farm.
It's the same principle. Say what you want, it's the same principle.
You can say what you want.
I will.
You do. All right. Let's move on. It's not in the middle of the We'll talk about it afterwards. You like that? Anyway. I'm gonna be all right.
You want to do this?
Excited. Trash waiver request. This is the most exciting part of our meeting, believe it or not. We have 5 trash waiver requests.
Yeah, it's a busy month for trash waiver requests. And I did provide you with a memo on those 5 requests. 3 of them I would recommend to the board if you approve, and if you grant those because they are vacant homes, they're not being occupied. The one request for 15421 Magnolia Drive, the owner still lives there. Apparently is not there very often, however, it is still an occupied property. And under our ordinance, it would still need to be it's still required to have trash service. And then the other one was for a business, which is at 12539 Susquehanna Trail. I think it's called House Cat and Button Hook Country Store. Their request was to waive the trash requirements because they don't generate a lot of trash and they take it along home with them. And again, our ordinance requires every property to pay for trash service unless it's vacant, and the board waives that requirement for a vacant property. So I would recommend to the board that you approve the request for 12475 Susquehanna Trail, which is Trimble, 52 Crosswind Drive, which has been vacant for several months, and 10973 Centerville Lane in Glen Rock, which has been vacant since December of 2014.
Will somebody put that in the form of a motion or reference it as a motion? We'll move on. I'll do that.
I'll make a motion if we grant the trash waivers on 12475 Susquehanna Trail South, 52 Crosswind Drive, and 10973 Centerville Lane.
I'll second that motion. Any discussion? Call for the vote.
Aye.
One other thing related to trash, I talked to Todd today about this, getting started. We are not doing very well as far as recycling, apparently. Our township is not, along with many other townships. And it's based on overall volume, that they compare somehow the recycling volume with the overall trash pickup. And it's kind of confusing. In other words, I know a lot of people are putting out recycling bins, more so than is suggested by this number. Now, I'd like to ask Todd to look into it and tell us. We don't know exactly how many people are recycling. Although
we did do some audits in
what did you find out?
August, September, October of last year. Paul did call me this afternoon and asked me if I could pull some of that information together, and I did not have the opportunity. I was fine-tuning the Seitzlin fees, but I can certainly have that pulled together for you next month.
Thank you.
But I'll be able to give you a percentage of the number of homes that did not participate. And when we did the audits, they were 1 month long, and we did 3 separate audits, as I said, 3 separate months. So we had a pretty good handle.
And that was based on property by property participation.
Correct.
What Penn Waste is doing is they're just giving us a gross number based on percentage of the overall trash. And actually, that's very confusing to me. So could you give us a good report so we're very clear on that? And if we can improve our participation, come up with a suggestion, and maybe you want to talk to Penn Waste as part of that. Thank you. Correspondence, we have a letter here from the ambulance people, I think it is. Any questions about that? And then finally, closing public comment. Now's your chance to read Terry notes if you're so inclined. Okay. Seeing no hands up, I'll call for a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you all for coming.